This is my trip to Scotland during winter break. Waiting at the airport in my super cool Christmas sweater. Although I live closer to the Dulles Airport, I flew out of Reagan, which is located in Arlington, Virginia. A little known fact, the 3 airports that are said to fly out of DC don't. Dulles and Reagan are in Virginia, and BWI is located in Baltimore, Maryland. We landed in Edinburgh in Scotland around 7:30 Christmas morning. Have you ever seen a dog open a present before? I hadn't either. I came to Scotland during winter break to spend Christmas with my best friend and his family, as it'd be my first Christmas without my mom. But I obviously had to visit some of the historical sites, as Scotland is very rich in history. I watched a television show on Mary, Queen of Scots a couple of months ago. She was the Queen of Scotland from 1542 to 1567. She was super interesting to me. However, she ended up being in prison right there on that island and Lochleven Castle, and that was one of my first stops on my trip. The day we ventured to Lochleven, we got to drive around beautiful parts of Scotland and see the different green pastures and animals. It was quite an experience. This right here is called a Highland cow. He was gorgeous, pretty big, and super busy eating. On day 3 of my adventure in Scotland, we headed into the capital city, Edinburgh, but we had to start our day off with some famous pastries from the famous Stephen's Bakery. I was super excited this day because we were visiting the Edinburgh Castle. I love this shot because of the old school taxi and how high and big the castle is. That's a shot of the Christmas market, which we headed to later in the night. So much fun. I got a shot of these stained glass windows because we mentioned this a couple weeks ago when we read the Everglades. I mentioned Mary, Queen of Scots earlier. She was imprisoned at Lochleven, yeah, but at one point in time she was free to reign, and she lived in Edinburgh Castle at times, until she had to step down or abdicate, and then her son, King James VI, took over. He actually was born in this castle. Eventually, though, King James VI also became the King of England, so he actually didn't stay in Scotland that long. Just like you might see musicians playing in the streets of DC for some money, that happens in Scotland too, except their instrument are bagpipes. J.K. Rowling, who wrote the Harry Potter series, is actually from Scotland and wrote a lot of her book in the streets of Edinburgh. I had headphones on because I rented this audio box so I could get an audio tour while I was in the castle. As we were walking by, I saw this couple taking their wedding pictures. I thought it was too cool not to take a picture. This is when we entered the Christmas market. I tried fish and chips and some crepes with Nutella and just had a good time walking around. Now we enter day 4. Not much went on this day except my best friend dove with sharks. Crazy. I felt like the stingray was trying to warn him. Get out while you can! Get out while you can! On day 4, we toured Dunfermline. It's a city close to the capital, and actually it used to be the capital of Scotland. We toured the Abbey, which is another word for like a church, and it was pretty cool. On day 5, we visited a place called Stirling, but check out that spelling. It's the home to the Stirling Castle, where some of the monarchs of Scotland lived, including Mary, Queen of Scots' mom and dad. In fact, her dad was responsible for adding the palace on the castle grounds. It was pretty cool. I realized later I recorded this a little too quickly. It's a brief history on Mary, Queen of Scots' father and mother and what they did to the castle in Stirling. Kelpies are the name given by Scottish people to shape-shifting spirits that live in the water, typically in the shape of a horse, but they can transform to humans as well. These were gorgeous statues. And that was basically my trip while I was there. My last night there was New Year's Eve. I sat on the couch and watched the fireworks from the castle. Pretty cool if you ask me. Thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something.